What or who was your source of inspiration? Like,
Uh, yeah, I had a couple of folks.
mhm,
Um, my uncle, he was a pilot in the Air Force,
got you.
and he retired as a lieutenant colonel out of the actually out of the Air National Guard. And then I had a buddy that was he had just left the Marine Corps. I was working. I was actually going to college at speed school,
Hmm.
at the U of L speed school, and then I was just wanted. I really wanted to be in the Marine Corps for whatever
Got you.
reason. Just sort
Mhm.
of drew me to it, and yeah, that's why I went there.
So, so that yeah, that is interesting. So like, what age were you? Like, was it like during like college or
Oh,
was it like after?
yeah, I was 19, so
Okay, night.
I was,
So okay, like
yeah,
almost
I was.
immediately. Got you.
So I graduated college, or I mean not college, but um,
High school.
high school,
Hmm.
and then I went into speed school because I got a Pell Grant,
Hmm.
and then there's a couple of things that happened right at the summer
Got
after
you.
my first course.
Hmm.
I lost my Pell Grant. There were some family issues, and then I'm like, well, this is my the perfect time. I think it's you know I'm think I should be
Yeah, like
Karma was telling me to go in there. Hey, this
got
is
you.
my time to do what I actually wanted to do.
Got you. Yeah, that's interesting. So like pretty much it was cuz like I guess some form of like passion you really wanted to kind of
Yes.
do. Got you. Okay. So like once you I guess like what was your first assignment like? Like do you have any special memories of that moment or during that experience?
I mean, I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. I mean, are you talking about just like when I went in, or the whole 5 years?
Like just like do you remember like your first I guess the first time I'd say. I think
Like when I first went
went
in?
in, yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to do it. I was talking to an Army recruiter and a Marine Corps recruiter
Mhm.
because um, the Marine Corps actually wanted me to be. So when you go into the services,
Mhm.
um, they take a snapshot of what they need at that point in time, right?
Yeah.
They need some infantry guy. They need whatever. And the Marine Corps wanted me to be a MP. So I was
Gotcha.
like, well, I'm going to speed school. I think that's a little bit above. That's not really. I wanted to be like a technical type of guy.
Gotcha.
So the Marine Corps or the Army was going to send me to basically work on Blackhawks or aviation stuff.
Gotcha.
So, however, fortunately, before I enlisted into the Army, the Marine Corps recruiter called me up and he said, "Hey, I was working, and like, hey, fortunate for you, this guy just broke his arm. He couldn't go back. He couldn't go to
Oh wow.
basic, so I can get you to work on um, communication equipment."
Got you. So that.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, fantastic. But that was on Thursday, and he said, well, and the great thing is that you actually go to boot camp on Tuesday.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so that was a very short
Short
period.
week.
I
Yeah.
thought I had, months, right?
Mhm.
So anyway, long story short, I had, said goodbye to everybody, and then, um, So I went to Marine Corps Army. They shipped me to boot camp on that Tuesday, and then I went through boot camp. Of course, it was very hard, and I went to my school after boot camp and MCT, which is another thing you have to go through. And that was 11 months long, and
Wow. So almost a year.
I got I got what I needed to do so I can work on the equipment that I worked on, and then I spent the next 4.5 or 3.5 years working when I doing what I was supposed to do.
Gotcha.
And I totally enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Should have stayed in. I served my 20 years, and I'd be retired and working on my second
Yeah.
my second income.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was. So yeah, it was. You worked for a long time and put in. I guess yeah. So you had to go through boot camp and 11 months, but still, I guess. And then you said you served for 20 years, correct?
No, I said I should have.
Oh, you did. My bad.
I should have. Instead of I got it. So my initial enlistment was 5 years.
Got you. Oh, okay.
And I really contemplated staying in. I got out, and then, however, I had stayed in, I would have retired 5 years ago, and been working on my second.
Yeah.
So whatever I wanted to do, I definitely.
Got you. Yeah. But still. So like, have you ever been like a prisoner of war? Like, has that ever, or something? No. Okay. So like.
So I was in between the two Iraqi wars.
Oh, okay.
So I was in from 94 to 99, and at that time there really wasn't a lot going on.
Got you on the. It's like your side of.
Yeah, I think that if things had actually been going on, and I thought to myself like, man, there's really nothing going on. We're just, nothing like, and I hate to say this, any type of war or conflict that actually would make me do my job in a realistic real world situation.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So we would we go out and do, go to the field and do operations for a couple of months or 6 months, and then come back and do that over and over again. So I think that was just, like I said, something going. It's actually something had been going on. I would have stayed in.
Got you. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, for sure. So, yeah. So, how is like your how is the system to like stay in contact with your family? Like, how often did you try to?
Well, I mean, once you get out of boot camp, or really, once you get out of boot camp, you can call them, text them, email them, whenever you want.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, like I said, at boot camp, you get, really the only thing you can do is email them, or not email them, sorry, write them. However, once you go into the military, or, active duty, you can have a cell phone, you have a phone, you can call them whatever you want.
Okay, so like you were like content with, I guess, like, so were you like, I guess you didn't like, was it like it wasn't too difficult for you, like, I mean, it probably was staying away from your family, but you felt like you had good like communication or like access?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
I mean, I came home every now and then. I got, at one point, I had I got married.
Got you.
The person I got married from was from Kentucky. I dated her in high school.
Mhm.
And then we come back, at Christmas and stuff, and
Gotcha.
for a week or so, and yeah. Um, my son is in the Marine Corps right now,
Oh wow.
and he'll come back on July. I think
Got you.
it's July 1st, right? Yeah.
Okay.
However, well, I would say if you're in the field, um, they typically cannot use your phone. Like when I say you're in the field, like you're actually doing stuff,
Stuff.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
You typically they don't allow you to use your phone or text or whatnot.
Got you.
But however, I talked to him the other day, so like 2 days ago, so we just chatted up and it's pretty
Kept in contact. So yeah, that's nice. So it's nice. So like, what was the food like? So was it good? Because that's always like interesting. Cause yeah. So how was it? Good, bad, manageable?
Yeah, Taco Tuesday was great.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, they had Taco Tuesday at the Chow Hall.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah, that is
yeah.
nice.
However, when you're when you're actually out
Hmm.
doing your job in the field, the MREs are okay. Um, Sometimes, depending on what operation you're on, they'll
Hmm.
actually bring actual food out
Food.
to you,
Oh
like
wow.
hot food.
Gotcha.
And typically that's not great.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, pretty. It's not definitely not good. Sometimes it's better to have MRE versus actual chow. Uh, the thing about I tell you one thing that so they have so obviously you need water,
Hmm.
right,
Yeah.
to stay alive. So in these operations they have what they call a water bowl. And it's basically a big tanker. It's probably 8 foot long. It's a brown
Hmm.
tank, right? And they put water in it, and you can go and get water out of it.
Got you.
However, it's sitting in the sun, especially I was in California, right? And it gets
Hmm.
really hot. They go out to the Mojave Desert or Yuma, Arizona, and it gets really hot. So that
Yeah.
water gets really, really hot. But number one, it comes out very hot.
Yeah.
So you had to cool it down at some point or somehow.
Hmm.
And then they would put, I don't know, tablets. What do they call those tablets? Alpha? Not chlorine.
Mm.
They would treat it to get rid of the stuff that's growing in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
And what is it called? Anyway, so it really sucks. The water really sucks. You have to, however, when the MREs, sometimes they have, stuff that you can put in the water and shake it up and it makes it taste like orange or strawberry or whatever. And that
Mhm.
helps a lot
Yeah,
sometimes.
but in general,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but, yeah. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Got you. So okay, it's like it varies, I guess. Oh.
That's good.
Okay. So how did you cope with like the stress of your work? Like I guess during like the stressful moments, like was there something you did to like?
Right. So I think the thing that I realized that you have to slow down. So
Got you.
when there was very tense moments, you have to, depending on physical and the thing that we're, so physical moments when it's very stressful, you just
Mhm.
have to deal with it, right? You have to
Yeah.
say,
That's right.
hey, in 10 minutes or 2 minutes or a half an hour, this is going to be
Mhm.
over with, and I'll be fine, right?
Got you. Yeah.
So when they're like in boot camp, and another thing that I thought in boot camp is like there's tens of thousands of people that's gone through boot camp.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, if those guys can do it, I can do it as well. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Motivation.
And then you have to psych yourself up when talking about physical conditioning.
True.
And then you say like, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it my best shot. If I break something, they're going to fix it, and I'll continue. Right.
Gotcha.
So when I was, working, like when I went to talking about my job, so the gear that I worked on, like everything, it was like sort of like the entrance to the internet from a specific internet connection. So basically, if you have 2 or 3 locations that need to talk to each other, everything would come through the equipment that I worked on. Right?
Got you. Okay.
So if it failed, nobody could talk, right? So when it failed, it was, they were all on you to get that shit fixed. I shouldn't say shit. Sorry.
You're good.
And so that point, you just really needed people to be, higher ups, senior listed folks, commission officers. Like you can sit, but you have to slow down and start at what is actually happening and go forward from that, right? So
yeah.
you can take in all the that was, what was actually failing, what is, whatever, and then put it together and start that from that point and work forward.
Gotcha.
So that really helped me when I was able to do that, or I taught myself how to do that, because I was a very great troubleshooter. I could troubleshoot a lot of things very quickly. Everybody, and that everybody is like, hey, Ed, or Tarter, like call my name, Tarter, he's fantastic. He can troubleshoot that. He's got no problem. And so that everybody is sort of just like, hey, great job. And then of course it made me feel great, great. And then I just continued doing that, right? And that's when I become a corporal and a sergeant, I tried to teach all my guys how to do that. So I tried to tell them how to do that. Slow down, look at what's going on, and start your troubleshooting from there.
Gotcha.
Right? You look at this, because it was the gears that I worked on. It was an 8-foot shelter in the back of a Humvee. It had, obviously a lot of, technical stuff, right? However, if you use how the signal flowed through that device, you can troubleshoot it very quickly. You just need to know how, turn in the middle, working your back or forth.
Gotcha.
So,
technical.
That's
Okay. So your advice was like kind of like assess the situation and take it like a step at a time to like analyze and solve the problem. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And you needed, so there's a lot of guys would get really frustrated, right? And they wouldn't settle down, right?
Yeah.
And then they didn't. I mean, it was just, for them. It was just a huge device that they were trying. They wanted somebody. They wanted them to fix, right? However, just calm down and take it, step by step.
Gotcha. So, did you have like a good luck ritual or something like that?
A good luck ritual? Not really. I mean, not really.
Okay.
I was never in combat, so
Okay,
maybe those
that
guys
might
were
have.
like, yeah, I'm gonna wear the same underwear the last time I went out or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm. Gotcha. So, what was your relation like with your fellow colleagues? Like, what was that like? This time with them.
Yeah. Um. Well, it's from my leadership, from the leadership, my senior uh,
Mhm.
uh, NCOs and officers. They realized that I was very proficient at my job, and they appreciate that.
Gotcha.
And my relationship with them was very pleasant. I'm not saying pleasant, but they understood I knew what I was going to do, right? And they
Mhm.
appreciated that, right? And
True. Yeah.
I would say, uh, um, they definitely, I wouldn't say held on high, but they appreciated that, right?
You do.
So
Yeah.
something had to happen, they would go to me, right?
Yeah.
Uh, for my peers, it was some of them they didn't like me because everybody liked me.
Like
So they
jealousy.
didn't. Yeah, they were just like, "Fuck this, um, I'm getting
Gotcha.
out," right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then the other one, the ones that were out at that level, we were very, a great relationship.
Gotcha.
And my the people that I was an NCO and shit, corporal and a sergeant.
Mhm.
The team that I led, I believe, looked at me as a strong leader. So
Gotcha.
at least they made like hard sucks. However, they
Mhm.
looked at me as a very as a strong leader. At
Gotcha.
least what I got from them.
Gotcha. Did you have like a record of your experiences, like a journal, like a diary or something like that? Like, did you ever?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Okay, gotcha. Do you wish you did something like that or no? Do you think
Uh, no, I've
you're fine
never.
with? Gotcha.
Yeah, I've
You're
never.
never about
never
like about recording and
yeah,
stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fine. So,
I wish I took more pictures.
okay.
I did a lot of things that in my mind, of course, I can see. However,
Mhm.
I wish I took more pictures just to have a record of that.
Got you.
I wish that they were cell phones back then. We didn't have cell phones, or there's cell phones with, that they could take
Pictures like
pictures.
yeah today.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that would that would for sure.
I would have took a million pictures at that point.
How? So my next question is how did like your service like affect your life? Like did it change your character in any way? Like maybe
Yeah,
before you entered like what like in what ways could you share?
yeah, sure. It made me, I would say, more responsible. You
Mhm.
know, I knew, as you grow up, you're trying to figure out what type of person that you are, right?
Yeah.
However, going to the Marine Corps um, taught me who I should be, and I fell into that, right? That's like this is a great thing to do, and
Mhm.
this is how I'm going to be. So that I wouldn't say it made me more of a man, but it definitely helped me become an adult, right? An
Mhm. Yeah.
actual adult versus a child or a young man.
Mhm.
Uh, and I was very, I was having a family can't be that forceful, but I became very forceful in what I you need to do and what I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, it definitely helped me be more of a person I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then from a technical experience, it really helped me out. I make a great, good living, and that all goes back to the skills I learned through
During your
the
time.
Marine Corps.
Gotcha. So, what was like your most memorable experience? Do you have one? Like,
Yeah.
what was it?
I don't know. I think it's one of the things that I really remember
Gotcha.
that really, taught me how to be a great troubleshooter and what I should do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I was by myself I was in Yuma, Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and I was by myself as a technician,
Mm-hmm.
and the shit went. I didn't realize what was happening.
Gotcha.
I was the first time I've been out with the team that I was out with, and they really didn't know what I did. So evidently, they finally came to me and said, "Hey, this thing isn't working. You need to fix it." And I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." And like, I had a staff sergeant, a major, or a colonel, not major. So the captain's like, "We need to get this shit up and running."
Mm-hmm.
And but I took my time. I didn't say I took my time. I was very, I'm like, oh, I'm good to go. I'll fix it here in a minute.
Gotcha.
But I just set myself like, okay, what's going on? How to do it? I got all the troubleshooting, or not troubleshooting, but the things that were going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I fixed it in like probably 10 or 15 minutes. And they thought that was fantastic. I'm like, wow, I can do this. I can actually go and fix stuff, get it running, and then everybody's like, damn, that guy's great, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I got my start, and
Gotcha.
yeah, that was a great. I remember a memorable moment. Obviously, when I graduated,
Mm-hmm.
we call it boot camp. That was a great
Memorable.
moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah. When I picked up E4 or corporal, that was a great moment.
Gotcha.
That was so fun. I'd like just when like E1 to E3 and the infantry, or not infantry, but the Marine Corps, you're just like not golfer, but you do whatever talk. But you go through to E4, you actually, now you're responsible for, six or eight guys, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that was a great thing, and it was a big moment for me in the Marine Corps because I actually had some. I didn't say I had some power, but it was responsibility
Gotcha.
was greater, and I knew that I could do it, and I was really looking forward to doing that. So
Gotcha.
that was a great thing.
So I get you. You were like confident in your abilities. So
Very confident.
Gotcha.
I don't know how I got my head through the door. I was so confident.
So my next question is, so I think you have a jacket, correct, with like your accomplishment and missions. Like, do you get one of those or no?
A jacket. They call it SRB, the service record book.
Oh.
Tells you
Okay.
what happened. Yeah, what you did. During your time in the military.
Gotcha. So like that pretty much like records like pretty much all your like missions and stuff like that accomplishment. Gotcha.
Well, there's some of those smaller missions that does it. However, the other ones they definitely accompanied a record of it.
Got you. Just to okay, keep with you. That's nice.
Mhm.
Uh, did you have like any ambitions like after leaving the Marine Corps?
When I wanted to get a good job and make a lot of money.
Got you.
No, yeah, that's the issue. I think that anybody who's getting out of the military is like, in the jobs that I had and the jobs that were all those guys getting out of the Marine Corps were
Mhm.
getting really good jobs. However, you just getting a job, right,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
making good money at that. I mean, I really didn't have like, maybe if I was an MP or an infantry guy, I wanted to be a cop or maybe going
Something.
to do some go back over there and do, we call it consulting, not consulting, contract work.
Okay.
And those guys can make a lot of money.
Mhm.
However, you're going back to, you know, um, you're going back to Afghanistan or Iraq or something like that.
Mhm.
However, I just wanted to, just get a good job, make a lot of money, and have a, go through life,
Got you.
great as I can.
Got you. So like, how was it like transitioning like back to civil life, like living with like your family and like I guess having neighbors, like just because the environment, like your environment just changes right after you leave because you're pretty much going from like. So how was that like? Was it like? Did it take some time to
Yeah.
adjust to?
Yeah, so coming out of the Marine Corps, you're very, wound up at that
Mhm.
point. And this is the Marine Corps specifically, not, I don't know about other type of
Like.
Army or Navy or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Mhm.
But I was very wound up, right? So I had to calm down. Like I was over the top. Marines are over the top all the time, right?
Yeah.
They're always doing
Stressful.
stuff that like, why would you do that? What they're very loud. Everybody's loud in Marine Corps. So I needed to cut that back, especially when I had a child, because I was really over the top at that point, because I was just out of the Marine Corps. And so I took I take medication to like
Gotcha.
calm me down a little bit,
Mhm.
so I don't, I'm not trying to, go around killing everybody.
Got you.
So yes, it was definitely a transition for me.
Got you. So, how did your experience, like in the Marine Corps, help you with like future challenges in your life? Like, did your idea of like kind of calming down and like analyzing the situation, did that help you with like future stuff outside the
Yeah.
Marine Corps? Got you.
Yeah. So, wasn't I'm pretty much I can. If you ask me, I can probably do something about anything that I need to do. If you give me something to do, I'll figure it out, right?
Got you. Mhm.
And because I'm pretty self confident.
Mhm.
But calming down helped me a lot because now that I work, it's sort of like a selling position. So like I don't know if you know Patrick. What's his name? Anyway,
Mhm.
so you need to be very calm and collected at that point.
Got
But
you.
if coming out of the Marine Corps, I knew that I could do pretty much anything.
Mhm.
And I feel like if you put something in front of me, I'll get over it. Right? I'm not getting over it. Like I'll go around.
Mhm.
I'll accomplish it.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, you can like get the job done. Like you trust yourself to do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Got you. So finally, anything else that you would like to share with me that you thought was like unique to your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think that military, whether you're an enlisted person or a commissioned officer, I think it grounds you down. It helps you become a person, or it helps you understand what type of person you're going to be.
Gotcha.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It definitely helped my son. My daughter, she's enlisted in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
But she's going to go to U of L and join the ROTC, and eventually she'll be a commissioned officer. However, you ask me, I think every young adult should go through some type of military experience.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it really helps you become an adult, and you realize that you really understand how America is one of the better countries because we have civil liberties.
Mm-hmm.
We have we're free at some point, and it really helps when you go over to. I've been to Okinawa and other places. It helps you understand that how great the country is when you look at countries that are not
so
free or
yeah. Gotcha.
But it just if you ask me, it's a great way to start your younger years after high school.
Gotcha. So it's definitely. I think that's pretty insightful. How you think that it would help with future experiences?
Yeah. You're more. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that was that. I really appreciate you sharing your story with me. That was really
no problem.
Interesting. Yeah, you gave me a unique perspective, and I guess a little bit of a glimpse into your life during the Marine Corps. So that was. I appreciate your.
Fantastic.
I appreciate you sharing your story.
What I mean, you're saying you're doing it for a project.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to compile. I'm gonna try to get as many stories as I can, and I'm gonna compile that information in some sort of website or something like that to kind of maybe share with other people, that maybe are interested and maybe don't have access to I guess to listen to people. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna pretty much try to make it so other people can. Thank you.
That's for your school. That's a school project.
No, this is just something I'm doing on my own.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. That's great.
Thank you.
Well, good luck. If you need anything else, please give me a holler.
No problem. I will if I need. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.